Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Hope y'all are doing well. We're back with some more DC Dual Force and having a ton of fun. Ever since crafting has come out, I've had a lot of different decks that I've been trying, and it's probably no secret from my Joker video that I've loved the Joker. I've wanted to play that leader for so long. I honestly don't get tired of it. I just love that sort of build and just using the sort of utility anarchy cards to deal damage, to control combat leaders. And although this build today, I think, has a lot of play into basically everything, I'm still working out if, it's got enough of a game plan into control specifically, but I think it's an incredibly fun duo. And I've really been trying Joker with a lot of things. I think that leader is just able to do some really crazy things, and although it's still, there is randomness of course involved, I really don't think anyone should sleep on the leader. I think it's incredibly powerful. It just makes for some really fun strategies with kind of how he operates. So let's get into it. We'll get into our build today. We're calling this the Darknight just because I couldn't think of anything else, and they were in that movie together. Which is, it feels weird to pair them together, but they actually have some really incredible synergy, and we'll kind of talk about why. And while I've been kind of on this quest to think about the meta decks I've been seeing in World's Finest and kind of how the meta has been developing, which I think is very much around, sort of energy tactics control, or sorry, energy tyranny control. That's kind of like what I feel like is the boogeyman of the format, although Flash Doomsday is really good, and I think more people are trying Doomsday as well, and I think he's kind of an underrated leader card. This is a combination I've been wanting to try for a while. Ever since I saw Batman Joker in the September tournament, I was like, oh god, that deck seems so sweet. So what are we running? We're running 2 Alfred. Kind of nothing to say. You just always run Alfred in a Batman deck. The card's still great. Recently got Two-Face. Super excited about it. The fact that you can grapple this back and try again to kill their card, right? You got a little bit of a coin flip here. Can be incredibly powerful. The question I've liked kind of more and more in just, I guess, as a card you can just play out and it just replaces itself. And it's hard for me to describe why that's so important in a game like this, but I guess the best way of saying it is that 1 toughness is a liability, or sorry, one health is a liability, right? Still got magic in that brain. 1 health is going to die to basically everything. So a card that replaces itself, maybe you get 2 damage out of it. It's got Hunter, which is like not the most relevant stat line, but isn't irrelevant, completely. And being able to be proactive without getting punished, right? So you get to play a card that your opponent may spend a resource on, may, some, even if it's a Batarang, but it replaces itself, right? So you get to play it, you get to set the pace, and you don't really care if it dies. And I can't really describe how big of a deal that is in this game. Because of the way the resource system works. I think any card that replaces itself is very good, and the fact that we've got so much burn and a lot of board clears that tend to be meta right now, between the Culling, Massacre, Hellblaze, even Earthquake, stuff like that, you just don't lose anything for playing this card. And in fact, it's going to draw you a card, replace itself, and just I felt better about putting it in my deck. Although it'd be better with Batgirl, right? Kind of for obvious reasons. I still have kind of liked the role that it plays within this deck, and in some of the tactic decks in particular. Punchline, no brainer, an excellent card with Joker. Partners in Crime. It's so funny. I thought this card was good when I first started playing it, and I just over time feel like this card's excellent. Making 2/3/1s isn't anything to be that scared of because it's 1 health again. But when you open with this on turn 1, it's a problem. Your opponent has to interact with it. You're getting a 2-for-1. It's just always good. And they are both inmates, right? So that's just relevant for how Joker operates. Onomatopoeia, I made a slot for this card in the deck. Would I love to play 2? Absolutely. It just does a ton of work when you think about batarangs and the shots that Joker fires. But I found it very hard for me to cut anything else. And having inmates for Joker is really important, and this is not an inmate, but I think Onomatopoeia is a one of, as just like another firepower card that's tossed in that you can play at any point in the game, is worth one slot. That's kind of where I've landed. Mr. Freeze, no brainer, and this card is just such a house when you're playing into any combat-based leaders. Even into Batman, I just love the card because although they can get a card off of Batman whether he can attack or not, it just Mr. Freeze is just such a good card for any combat leader. It's huge game into Shazam. It just shutting him off for a turn is a real liability for those decks. Doesn't interact well with Ivy, but into Shazam and some of those other, also into Doomsday. So this card has really just been such an overperformer in general, and also packs a punch when you have firepower. Utility Belt, nothing to really explain here, just a very efficient card in tactics decks. Same with Detective Chimp, especially because builds are getting more and more kind of refined, and sort of like the meta is developing more and more, so you kind of know instinctually what people are running. Ventriloquist, again, just you can have some of these crazy jailbreak ventriloquist turns, and I still think deserves 2 slots in the deck. Bluebird, just a great card. Again, a card that replaces itself. You don't really care if it dies, but also is something that your opponent may sink some resources into, and I really love that sort of card choice right now. Deadshot, Inmate, Firepower, Hunter honestly comes into play sometimes. Great card. Jailbreak, such a good card, probably keeping it in my opening hand every time when I play Joker. Nothing to really explain here. You just gather your inmates, and that's exactly what you want to do. It's a 2-for-1, excellent for 1 resource. Lucius Fox, still running as a 1-of, still going to get a bunch of gadgets, still gets you a ton of value. Good 1-of, I think. Black Manta, this thing does some work alongside Mr. Freeze. Dealing that damage up front with firepower is incredibly potent, and the fact that you can grapple it back and replay it again, you just get this amazing synergy between Batman and these Anarchy cards that are, not the craziest like in terms of stats, but do a lot of damage to the face. There's just so much burn. And speaking of crazy stats, Parasite, the more I play this card, the more I love it. It's just really hard to play around, especially with firepower, and sometimes your Parasites just get huge. When you're playing Joker Zatanna and you get to Smoke and Mirrors your own Parasite, and I think I had a 13-7 Parasite the other day. It's really, really disgusting. But the card's just a powerhouse, I think, in general. Even in a control meta, this thing's going to clear whatever they're trying to protect their board with, and be a threat itself. So I love it. Running Batwing, still a very efficient card, especially when you're playing Batman. Kind of a no-brainer, same with Robin. And then we're running the 1-of Batman. I think 2-of I've been disappointed with. Sorry, still struggling with my throat, with my voice. But I think 1 is good. This is a potent threat, the fact that it is hidden. I do not have Batman Recruit. Maybe if I had Batman Recruit, I would run it over this because I think it's a strictly better card. But I still think Batman, the Thomas Wayne version, serves a pretty nice purpose in the deck for closing something out in the late game. Bat Cycle, excellent. Anything that can charge your Joker, great. It's just going to be always good. And Evade, again, into the aggro matchups is very, very relevant. And then we open our Green Arrow. Hallelujah. So we got to throw him in there. Again, we can grapple him back. With Firepower, you can clear their entire board like a one-sided Earthquake. Doing a nice little Ladama impression, if you will, for the deck. And then we're running very few gold cards, but the ones that we're running I think are good. Enchantress, obviously, just super powers up the Joker. Cyborg, I really like as just a blocker for Joker, and able to board clear very easily. If I had Batman Recruit, I think I would maybe play it over it, because it's so good at just closing out the game. But for now, I've been happy with Cyborg. Batmobile, excellent. In every Batman deck, I would play this. I just think that the card allows for some really unfair gameplay with Batman's you know, the litany of gadgets that you get to play, and then giving it permanent +3 for the rest of the game, and Hunter and Evade is nothing to sneeze at. And then Deathstroke, as you saw in my other Joker video, this card just can go off out of nowhere, and it's super hard to play around, like to really set up anything that could do anything about you playing this on your turn. And I just think it's such an auto include in probably any Anarchy deck. So enough of me talking. Let's play some games. And I gotta say, when I first picked this deck up, it's got a lot to it. You really can do. I really appreciate decks where you just get so many different lines of play. So much you could do with this deck, and that's what makes it really fun for me. So it's not the most beginner friendly deck, I would say, but when you've got your your sort of fundamentals down with some of these leaders, I think this is like such a fun combination. And at some point I'll try Batgirl Joker, because that's been a touted deck within the last tournament. I still prefer Batman, I think. But if we continue to get closer to a more controlled meta, Batgirl does have a little bit more upside in terms of card advantage. So, who knows? We'll see. Okay, I'd like to see that. Keeping one Robin seems reasonable. But against this deck, I do want to have quite a bit of pressure. They've got Lightning Arc. They can clear Robin. I think I'll just ship them both back. Okay, well, got 2 more silvers. So yeah, let's maybe not get ambush boats, hopefully. If we do, there's not much we can do about it. But we'll get our card. That's nice. We can go double Bluebird next turn. It's a fair bit of value. Sorry, excuse the cough drop that I have. Okay. Energy Blast it is. Fair enough. This is an interesting combo. I've definitely thought about running something like this, so I'm interested to play against it. Alright, kind of no-brainer here. We're just going to play out our Bronze Recruits. Awesome. Nothing to really do with our gadgets quite yet. And then next turn, it's pretty likely we're going to play out Parasite. Maybe we'll play out Batman, depending on what they do. So next turn is going to be big for them. We've got double activation. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say I would probably go for... Oh, and they hit the Seahorse. You hate to see it. Such a good card. But if they can only clear one Bluebird, we can clear the Seahorse with Parasite activate, or if Parasite hits, which hopefully it does. But we've also got Batman activation, so they're going to up the C. Oh, they're going to put it on Steve. Kind of makes sense. Oh, so we can just full clear here with just Green Arrow. But we also have the guaranteed damage off of Parasite. I think that's slightly better. Parasite will get cleared here, but Green Arrow might have some more utility. Alright, so let's activate Batman first. Grapple? Grappling back Bluebird this turn would be kind of nice. I'm down with that. Because we don't have another bronze play. So yeah, let's just go Parasite to guard Joker. And then let's go clear. Clear. And then let's grapple you back. Get a little bit more value. Battering. And then I'm just going to throw out the bandage now. On the off chance that somehow we get super burned down. But they're probably going to use Shazam this turn to kill off Parasite. The next turn we could potentially go Deadshot into Green Arrow to clean up whatever they have. Deadshot into Batman. So, feeling pretty decent here. Antiope, one of my favorite bronze cards for Might. Oh, and they have the Lightning Arc. Okay. Yep. So are they going face here, or are they clearing? Okay, going face. Yep. Just trying to get as much pressure on Joker. I mean, that's probably the right move. You don't really care about Bluebird anyway. Okay. So we can get that off, which is probably... We could actually do it with Tear Gas. That's probably better. So let's do that. And then I am going to go... so we can go either of the inmates, but I would just rather go Deadshot here. And I'm going to go Batman. And then let's fire this off. Okay. That's fine. We can... I do want to clear here. And I think I am kind of going for Aquaman. Anyway, Joker is pretty low, but that's okay for us. Hellblaze could be pretty rough, but we've got a lot of pressure on the board. They can't clear Batman. So they're going to take a minimum of 8 damage off of that. Unless they hit big on Crystal Ball, which would be pretty scary. Let's see. Oh, Mirror is good. Mirror is a big butt. Oh, that's all they have. Okay, so they got double gold in hand. That's terrifying. Alright, well. Good old Deathstroke showing up at the right time, I would say. Alright, yes. I was kind of hoping we would see a bandage here. Yeah, there's nothing really to grapple, and I really want to keep Joker alive. So, how do we do this? I think it's, so we play Deathstroke, we trade Batman into Mira, and then we get 5, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's lethal on Aquaman. Okay, perfect. Bandage. Kill. We want to clear her anyway. There's no way we're not. Now, Hellblaze will clear all of this. Oh, I forgot the attack because we killed the leader. Oh no. Okay, don't make that mistake, folks. You clear a leader, that counts. Should be at 13. Yikes. Not good, Tim. Not good. Okay, Superman is definitely a problem, but not the biggest problem. Okay. Alright, we're not going to get punished for my horrific play mistake as much as I thought we might. We can actually also rip off some of these things with Joker, unless it hits here, though. Trying not to cough. Okay. I'm going to take the risk. If I get unlucky here, I do. Okay. Not that unlucky, so that's good. So, obviously got to clear here. And then we're going to clear... Actually, we can just attack with Deathstroke to clear. Yeah. That way we still get another attack. And they would be dead this turn if I played the game correctly. But such is life. Alright, well, we don't lose to Hellblaze. Obviously it clears everything, but we don't straight up lose. Yep. Oh boy. We really almost are trying to give this to our friend here, unfortunately. Alright. Obviously we're going to activate. Hoping to hit a bandage for Joker anyway. Grapnel. Batarang. Grapnel might be more relevant with Two-Face. Let's see if we get a lucky couple of triggers here, though. Let's do that first. Nope. Not quite. Don't really want to play either of these. Yeah, I think let's just go for a utility belt. Get the bandage. And then I think we just go bandage. And as much as I want to grapnel this back, if they just kill Joker, then we've got lethal out. And we've got the bat cycle charge here. Yeah, okay. It's a bit of a liability, but means that we can maybe clear something that they play. We've also got a million things that can burn them out here. Okay, well that's pretty good. Get to kill Joker. So that's kind of the scenario that I was thinking about. If they just get to kill Joker, I'd rather have a body on the board. Assuming they have a blocker here. Okay. Yeah, there's no way for them to live. Alright, well. We played that terribly. That one mistake literally cost us closing out the game that turn. So don't do that. Remember, Deathstroke counts the deaths of leaders. Which, you know, sometimes apparently we forget about. But good game. They had a really awkward silver turn where they did, I think it was they played one silver. So we knew they had double gold. And Superman is actually really hard to deal with, usually with Joker, but we just happen to have the board that could clear him. Okay. I think this matchup's a little bit harder, so we'll see. All right, just want bronze stuff, just want proactive stuff. Man bat, dang it. All right, can we hit the batarang? Can we get lucky? Question mark? Batarang. No. Jeez, we hit the least relevant one, unfortunately. Sorry, folks. Just not trying to cough. Oh boy, this is not good. Yep. Yep, that's why this deck is scary. A lot of speed. Not a lot we can do about it. I actually got Mr. Freeze on a pretty nice turn, though. Right, well, definitely activating. If we hit the batarang, sweet. Hit the bandage. It's better for me to tear gas and take two. Actually, we probably just play those two out. Let's get a little lucky. I believe we can get lucky here. I think I can get greedy with my placement too. At least I hope so. Alright, we got punished. Unfortunate. I was really hoping we'd hit with Ventriloquist there. Alright, Batman's not long for this world, I don't think. Earthquake. That's a new adaptation, but that kind of makes sense for the deck. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All but dead. Okay. Well. Question is, what would I rather do here? I just want to get kind of as many bodies on the board, especially if we hit Mr. Freeze here. Did not, unfortunately. All right, well, don't have another Earthquake, please. Oh my god, we're actually going off. Alright, that was pretty nasty. Huh. Now the question is, do I pull back punchline here? Or is the question, do we pull back ventriloquist here? Because we've got the dead shot to maybe get the spike the shots. Batman's dead either way. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, well, sometimes you just do that with Jailbreak plus Punch and Julie. Alright, well, the matchup's not hard if you just draw it perfectly, so. Oh, jeez. Alright, well, we almost punted the game. Game 1 and Game 2, we got the most lucky, I guess. Alright, well, I'll cut it there for today. But, you know, some thoughts here. Obviously, you can kind of high roll a Jailbreak. That just card allows you to do that. And I'm sure, you know, I've seen different builds of the deck, but I think if you've got even some of this, this is where it would start. I do think that this deck punishes you if you don't have a pretty good collection. You know, you're running Two-Face, Detective Chimp, which isn't like that necessary, but like Green Arrow, Batmobile, Deathstroke. They're all ultimate cards. But I think the deck's super fun. As you can see, you can have some pretty nuts draws with Jailbreak. But you've also got the kind of consistency that Batman gives most decks. And although I think in the meta, my honest thoughts are that I prefer Zatanna Joker into Control. The more I've played the matchup, the more I've liked it. Because you can't really interact with what the deck's doing from a Control perspective unless you get like some really good flashpoints and pressure their leaders. It's pretty hard to just out pressure them as Control. But I think Darknight Joker, you know, or rather, you know, Batman Joker, the Darknight deck, I think is just an all-around really good deck. I think it's got play kind of into everything. So if your style is less about getting the right matchups or playing the meta and just having a deck that kind of has play into everything, and I think this deck, again, is a deck where you can just pop Joker pretty much whenever because you're able to pressure through burns so much with all the Anarchy cards and Firepower. I think that's a good spot to be in. And it's a terribly fun deck. You just have so many different lines of play. So, if you get the cards for it, I definitely recommend the deck. It's definitely a contender. And if I was going into a tournament, and I think hopefully there will be one coming up soon, I think the two Joker decks I would be thinking about is this deck and Zatanna Joker. As of right now, I'd probably pick Zatanna Joker. But I don't think this deck should be slept on, and I think it's quite powerful. Yeah, I hope you liked it. So until next time, keep checking out the videos. Appreciate all the support, and I will see you next time.